So I told myself when I was 21 that I wanted to be a millionaire before 30. That was definitely like number 1 and 2 on my bucket list.
I didn't realize we could go places outside of our neighborhood, so I wanted to travel. I was on the Nile River. I'm like, where Moses at? You know what I mean? I'm really out here. It was crazy.
I went whitewater rafting, climbing on cliffs and jumping into rivers, and I just literally jumped. I felt like I was just flying, yo.
So I told myself when I was 21 that I wanted to be a millionaire before 30, and I wanted to buy a house straight up cash, no mortgage, like these are the things that I was thinking graduating college. And going to a school like Northwestern University, they teach you ownership and entrepreneurship. So for me, it was like, by the end of this decade, I'm gonna be worth 7 figures and buy this beautiful house and not worry about nothing. That's number 1, and everything else is gonna follow. And I was able to do that, and being able to do that before 30 was an incredible feat for me, because I knew how hard I worked, and I know what I want my legacy to be. And especially during a pandemic, when you're able to have a house that you own, you don't have to pay anything, it's a lifesaver, and so that was definitely like number 1 and 2 on my bucket list, and to be able to do it, it's fly to me. I tell people, if you don't think buying a home is not a bucket list, then something's wrong, because ownership is everything, man. To have security for the rest of your life, at least you're gonna have somewhere to live. Like, that is peace of mind. I feel like everyone needs to be able to do that, and I think everybody should try to do that. However long it takes you to pay off, that house will be passed on forever through your family, and your family's gonna be able to live somewhere. So I think it's super, super important. I don't think we teach our kids, or even adults, we don't talk about it enough, and I think we need to.
When I was a young, broke kid coming up, I wanted 2 things. One, I never got a chance in my whole childhood existence to get a pair of J's. Never, like not one time. Even when I had a little bit of bread, I was like, nah, I can't blow it all on the Jordans. And then 2, my aunt sent me a postcard from Japan, and I didn't realize we could go places outside of our neighborhood, so I wanted to travel. So those are the 2 bucket list things that I really wanted to do. And as soon as I got a little bit of money, I went and bought not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I probably bought about 8 pair of J's. I had to go down the list and go. I was like, give me the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, the 6, 7s, and the 8s. I need all of them at one time. And man, it's just a prized possession of mine, because it represents the struggle and where I came from, and just being able to have them. And so now, I may have a little bit too many pairs of shoes, so I try to give them away. But I'm a size 14, so it's not a lot of people who can fit these shoes. So, if you're a size 14, hit me up. I may send you a pair, because I'm trying to get rid of some of these. I went a little crazy. And then the other thing is, I wanted to travel, man. When I first got a little bit of money, man, I wanted to go all around the world. I still, to this very day, am like, I just want to travel the whole world. And so I've been everywhere. One place that I had to go that was like hands down was Egypt, North Africa, because I just was going through a journey where, it was a faith journey, it was a mental, emotional, spiritual journey, and I just needed to see something that was bigger than what I was looking at. That was the history that was 3, 4, 5, 6,000 years old. Just to be reminded that, my time on earth is small, and there's something bigger and greater that's happened before I was here and after I'm gone, you know what I mean? And so Egypt changed my life. Just being able to see the pyramids, being able to see the culture, the history. I was on the Nile River. I'm like, where Moses at? You know what I mean? I'm really out here. It was crazy. So Egypt changed my life. And that's like for real bucket list stuff for me. So they say, if you can read a book, but if you can travel, it's better. So travel, because it just opens up your world and makes it, bigger, better, greater. Travel.
The coolest thing I was able to check off my bucket list was going to Bulgaria. I was filming a movie out there this year. I wouldn't technically say I had a bucket list, but I did a lot of things that I would never do. I went whitewater rafting. I was climbing on cliffs and jumping into rivers, and I was like going to see caves, and I was climbing mountains, going like 4 miles up a mountain to see a waterfall, and it was just like the most beautiful experience ever. Me and my guy, we drove 4 hours across the country to the Black Sea, and it was just like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And when I got back from Bulgaria, I was just so adventurous and so open and like just willing to do more things. Like, you know, anything I was afraid to do before is like just felt good. I'm telling you, looking over this cliff, I got my life jacket on, I got my helmet on, I got my little river boots on, whatever that is, and then I literally like looking dead center into this water, and they're like, jump, man, jump, do it. And my Irish homie, he's like, bro, you can do it, bro. You're brave, you're a leader, face your fears, you got it. Yeah, it's in your heart. And I was like, it is in my heart. And I just literally jumped, and it was like, I felt like I was just flying, yo, and I dived into the water, and then I'm like climbing back onto the boat, and we like white water rafting to the next cliff, and it was just fun.
So one of the best date spots I've ever been to was a spot called Hookah in Dubai, Huqqa. It's super fly. It's hibachi style hookah. They cut the hookah like hibachi in front of you. So they basically would take the mint and cut it with a knife, do tricks with it, and like, we were like, wow. And the food was incredible. The view was beautiful. We really, really had a good time. So if you guys want a date night, you want to do something really lit, and you in Dubai, go to Hookah. It is fire.
You know, depending on where I'm at in terms of hot spots, if I'm in Atlanta, you know, I got a couple little places that just set the vibe right. You know, one of them is Marcel, because Marcel is just, the food is amazing, the lighting is amazing, the setup is nice, it's intimate. You get your nice little intimate table off in the corner, you know what I mean? And then they're gonna bring out this bread. And this bread alone, if you single and you taking someone on a date, the bread alone is gonna get you married if you wanna get married. The bread alone is gonna be what's gonna make you move up a couple notches in this person's mind, because they're gonna be like, how considerate of you to expose me to this bread. Who are you in this? And what is, like, you are a special person. Whoever you are, you special. So listen, if you're really trying to catch one, you gotta go to Marcel and make sure they just eat the bread. I don't care if you leave after that. Get the bread.
One of the hottest spots you can ever go to right now is R&B Night and Medusa here in Atlanta. Fire. My boy Keith and B Cox, super producers. They run it. They do it once a week. I think last time I went, I went with Jacquees. He was hosting one night, and it's just like, even Jacquees was just like, yo, R&B night different, because it's not like your Atlanta turn up night, but it's like they playing like all the R&B classics, like, and everybody's just singing their hearts out. You know what I mean? And you know, Pleasure P is a big bro of mine too, so he'd come on the mic and he'd sing some of the old Pretty Ricky records, and it's just like you feel that nostalgia of like that R&B music that we all love, but in the club and everybody's having a good time. I would say that's a perfect place to take a girl, take a group of friends, because it's just chill and mellow. It's like you can go to the club, it ain't gonna get too crazy, it ain't gonna get too wild. It's just like grown people having a good time, and they having drinks, and you can get food at this club, you can get hookah, all that. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. You know, me and Saraya, we've been almost going like every other week, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's just a cool place to go. And you know, if you're an R&B singer, I'm an R&B singer and R&B lover, it's just a great place to go listen to that music. And they play the same songs every week, and we sing them just like we never heard them before. You know what I mean? It's crazy.